that you've run one and you crash through all the terror and fear and trepidation on running your first one, and now it's game on. Now, what I want you to do, okay, to tie this back to somebody left me a comment way earlier on saying, I thought you were going to talk about Valentine's Day. What I want you to do now, Stephanie, is I want you to send an email to your entire list this week. Let them know that you're going to be having a huge sale for Valentine's Day. And then I want you to have the sale for Valentine's Day. And then I want you to throw a live art show as part of the sale on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Okay?
That's perfect. Thank you.
Yep. And I'm extremely proud of you. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 34.
Oh, it makes me so happy. It just makes me so happy because if I can get my hooks in you right now when you're in your 30s and you understand that pyramid and you're selling direct and you're building a collector list and you're building an email list and you stretch that out over your career, you are going to be in such a great place. I mean, there are people in this call right now that are in their 60s and 70s, some even in their 80s. And, they're looking at their career and they're like, I never kept a collector list. I never built an email list. I was selling fantastically well through galleries for years. Now the whole world's changed, and I don't have anyone to sell to. You, on the other hand, my dear, if you're building this list and you're working that pyramid, and you stay at it, you're going to have an incredible career. Incredible career.
Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thanks for your time.
Anytime. Come back and see me anytime. All right. Who else is brave? Who else has got questions? She can't be the only one. There's like 67 people in here.
Patrick, okay. I see Jimmy and Rebecca raising their hands.
Okay, I saw Jimmy first, so I'm going to grab Jimmy, and then I'll get you next, Rebecca. Go ahead, Jimmy, you're up.
Oh, there we go.
How you
guys doing?
Gotcha. Good. How you doing?
I've been getting emails from you guys, man, for months about coming into the store, and you said something earlier about showing, and getting in front of people and just showing.
Yes.
You are so right. In Chicago here, they did a Sundays on State festival from May to about September.
Yeah, one of my top lieutenants at this company lives in Chicago, and he goes to that thing every single solitary year. Don't they like shut down big streets and just booths everywhere and the whole shebang? Yeah.
They shut down Lake Street to Madison. It's about 5 blocks.
Wow.
They have everything and everybody there, and I was invited, and I sent in. I asked for one show. They wanted to see my stuff online. So I sent it to them, and they invited me to, after the first show, they invited me to like 8 more. It was fantastic. The one thing that I got a lot of was a lot of people.
Your work is great. Your work is awesome. I love your work. It's beautiful. But the credit card didn't come out?
No. Matter of fact, it broke down one time on a sale, and I couldn't make that sale. But the thing was being pigeonholed into this category because a lot of black people that walked up to me and wanted to see black art, and I'm telling them that I do. They ask me what's the motivation for my. Everybody asks me what's the motivation for my art. I tell them lines and motion, and then I add color later. They didn't get it, so I had to come up with a category: universal art.
Okay.
Question that I have: will I be able? Is that a good way to promote what I do as an abstract artist? Is promoted in another category, calling it universal art, and I just want to get you guys' opinion on it.
Yeah, abstract art is a tough one, right? Like, there's every little niche and every little subsegment of this industry has its ups and its downs. Abstract art, the difficulty with abstract art is, if I asked you, I'm sat down at my computer right now and Google's in front of me, what do I have to type in to find you?
Oh, Jimmy Williams.
Yeah, no, exactly, right? Only your name. My point with that is I'm not actually doing it. Only your name is going to get me there, right? Because abstract art is just such like a catch-all statement, and there's like not really niches to it. So you can call it whatever you like. I would not get wound up on it or bothered by it or sidetracked. Call it whatever you like. Go market it for a year and then see what happens. If it sticks, you're on to something. If it doesn't, then it's not making a difference at all. But do not waste more than 24 hours. If you got 2 names, throw a dart at the dartboard, pick one, and get on with the marketing. That's the ballgame.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. And then also, too, I'm going to include, April, remind me to put this in the show notes page. I'm going to include, I've got their podcast episodes with really their playbooks. Playbooks are what we call like step-by-step tactical guides to how to do things. I've got a really good playbook on how to get the most out of in-person events, okay, shows and fairs and the like. And I want you to listen to them because it'll change the way that you're thinking about doing shows in the future. Deal? Click on them. I'm gonna send them to you after the fact. Okay, Jimmy? Did I lose you? Okay, cool. Juan, who else was up in front of Gail? Gail, I see your hand too. But
Rebecca.
I'm gonna find Rebecca. Okay, hold on. Okay, Rebecca, you're up next.
Already. Yep.
Yep.
Great. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for taking my question.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a diminished voice. Let
No,
me
that's
see if
okay.
this is- So mostly I'm a writer and humorist, but I also illustrate whatever I write. And so my question is about digital art. Do you have any experience putting this together for digital artists?
All day long. All day long. Digital art is a massive trap, right? And I constantly get this question about digital art, and it infuriates me. And so I have to ask you a different question and change it up a little bit to bring the point home. If I had a knife company and I hired you, Rebecca, to sell knives door to door for me, what would you knock on the door and have in your hand?
A knife.
The knives. You wouldn't have photos of the knives. You wouldn't have a catalog of the knives. Because
Right.
if you did, you would have to be the best salesman in the history of mankind or you wouldn't sell any, right? And so everyone tells me digital art. I don't care if it's digital art. Everything's digital art. Photography is digital art. The only thing that's not digital art you could say is on a canvas. But you're not selling digital art. You're selling this. This has dimensions. It hangs on a wall. It's real. It's tactile. I can touch it. People can look at it. People can covet it. Digital art is just a JPEG. No one's selling JPEGs. I can't staple a JPEG to my wall. So it doesn't matter what format it's in. This is what you're selling. This is the product that goes on the wall. So guess what? Get prints and show and sell this. Do not sell the digital art, right?
Good. That's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's really, really easy. And then obviously, you know, there's a reason that we offer merch. Like you can put the digital art on merch. You can put the digital art into open editions, limited editions, on every media type imaginable, and you should do so, right? It doesn't cost you anything to do any of it. It's all print on demand. So yeah, the fact that it's digital is no big deal. The fact that I get infuriated about is like when I go to someone's social media profile that is a digital artist, and I'm not picking on you and saying you're doing this, but I'm just saying in a macro, and all I see is 2D image after 2D image after 2D image after 2D image, and it's like, you guys need to be told, because you're extremely visual people. Like, you're capable of visualizing a 2D image in your social media on the wall. The rest of us are not. You're making us think too hard. Do not make us think. Show me what comes to my front door and watch what happens. Your whole business will change like that.
That's a great bit of advice.
Yes.
That's a great bit of advice.
I told
Thank
you, I've been doing this a long time. It is a cardinal sin. And, you know, I'm not kidding. I get this question 3 to 5 times a week. Well, I'm a digital artist. Does it apply to me? And it's like, you're not selling digital art, okay? You are selling, unless you're selling NFTs, and don't ask me about that, I don't want to go on it. But you're selling the thing that goes on the wall, right? Or you're selling the coffee cup or the yoga mat or the tote bag or the pillow or the puzzle, whatever it is, the calendar. That's what you're selling. Focus 100% on that. If you don't have that and you're not ready to show that, you're making a mistake.
So let me ask a follow-up question.
Please.
You're talking about digital art on media other than, on cups, on
on all of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you do that, or would that order be placed through something like Cafe Press?
No, we do all that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's sort of one of the amazing things about where the world has gone, right? And quick tangent, and then I'll get into the next questions. Like, in my day when I was coming up, I'm 42 now, like in my 20s, if I wanted to do anything merch related, and I don't care if it's t-shirts or calendars or notepads or whatever, it was a 1,000-piece minimum order that I had to pay for, that I had to inventory and hold on to, right? Well, God bless technology. Now we are in a complete POD world. POD stands for print on demand, which means you hold no inventory. You don't have to,
Right.
aside from the samples that you show, right? You
Right.
don't have to hold any inventory whatsoever. You get an order, it can be one. It can be one. They will print it and ship it. Now, on the art side, that's been around for a while. It works fantastic. You get all the top quality stuff. On the merch side, the only downside is, you'll get a throw pillow, but it's not going to be, a goose down $599 my gosh pillow. It's going to be a little bit cheesy of a pillow, but guess what? It doesn't matter. It's you monetizing your creative talents on as many different products as possible. So, yeah.
So that piece of art you held up.
Yeah.
Did you print that and frame it?
Yeah. Yeah. I ordered it from one of our printers. I have like literally the whole stack because I have to teach this on a regular basis. Now you've encouraged me. Okay. I'm going to go through it. Let me get my props. Sit tight. Now, there are 5 main media types that I believe every artist, every photographer should have in today's day and age. These are a little bit beat up. Again, see my aforementioned point about my children, streperous tyrants that they are. This is a fine art. I have a green screen, so it looks a little weird. This is a framed fine art paper. You could do texture, not texture, but you notice how I can hold it. I can show that it's framed. I can show that it's ready to hang. I can show that it has these lovely little feet, felt feet. So got to have at least one fine art paper. Of course, you have to have gallery wrapped canvas. Beautiful. Edge to edge printing. Also ready to hang. Can be framed. Doesn't need to be framed. Newest kid on the block. Metal. Not newest kid on the block, really. But
Right.
you have to have a medal. You have to be able to show a medal. You have to show why a medal is awesome, and do that entire operation. Acrylic, which is probably my favorite, which I showed earlier, so I can talk about acrylic. I can show acrylic, again, ready to hang. And you'd be surprised. A lot of wood prints sell, too. Wood is kind of cool. It looks beautiful, right? It hangs nicely on the wall. You can zoom in and show the texture and the detail. So there, I have 5 different media types in my hand, right? Anyone that gets on a Zoom call with me, anyone that talks to me, anyone that wants to talk to me, or if I'm doing a live video, I can show you the 5 different media types that are available in my store. Boom. How many of you can raise your hand and say you have that ready to show right now? Don't answer. I already know the answer. Okay. Oh, Anita, come on with your bad self, Anita. I love it. We'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, that's
So I can order those samples from you, have them ready here, and hold them up and say, yours will look just like this.
Yep. And not only that, you'll go. I realize that this thing is 8 by 10, but this can also come in 24 by 36 or bigger or smaller, right? And again, like, this is the beautiful thing about technology. You guys all have these telephoto lenses on your cameras, and I'll show it to you again. Wow, look at the zoom on that, right? Like, we all have it just by going in and out. So, yes, that's outside.
Perfect. Thank you.
That was
Thank
my
you.
pleasure. That was my pleasure, Rebecca. Okay. Gail is up next, and then it'll go Anita, then it'll go River. So go ahead, Gail. And you'll need-
Unmute.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
I have a couple of questions. One is when you're talking about the video selling, the live selling,
Yes.
I've always been told that Instagram wants something very short, and I'm wondering about time lengths.
The people that told you that do not know what they're talking about.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah. The length is utterly, totally, and completely irrelevant. It can be short. It can be long. It's sort of like the way to think about it and the way to approach these things is it's different strokes for different folks. There are some people that just want to read. Okay. They don't want to listen. They don't want to watch. They just want to read. There's some people that just want to listen. There's some people that just want to watch. And then within each of those little quadrants are people that just want something short. And then there's people that just want something long. And you'll never know what the sweet spot for you is until you experiment with all of it. So when somebody tells you, oh, Instagram wants something short, they don't know what they're talking about, or they're telling you, they're trying to give you catch-all advice, which doesn't exist. So you'll never know until you ship a bunch of them. I could do one as slow as, hey guys, Patrick, I'm having a really great day, and I'm feeling really thankful. And as a result of it, I'm having a flash sale. All prints on my site that are wood for the next 24 hours only are 30% off. You can get this one. I'm going to talk about the wood. I'm going to talk about everything else. How do you do that? All you have to do is send me a direct message on Instagram or a message on Messenger or visit my website. And the deal expires at 11:50 tomorrow. You have 24 hours. It's a flash sale. Thanks and have a great day. Boom. I just did one, Gail. I just shipped one. And then you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to go do a long one. And then I'm going to go do some medium ones. And then I'm going to do something in between, right? This is like a variation of Stephanie's question. Like when you zoom out and you look at this at a macro and you realize you're going to be doing thousands of them, the only thing that matters is doing thousands of them. I don't care if they're short. I don't care if they're long. I don't care if it's one piece. I don't care if it's 50 pieces. I don't care if it's everything that you have in stock. Not everyone's going to see it. You'll never know what works until you ship a bunch of them. So the only thing that you can't do is sit around and I'm not accusing you of this. I'm just accusing everyone of this because I already know I've got 5,500 customers and they all drag their feet on this. The only thing you can't do is sit around and contemplate the what ifs. Okay? What if I do this? What if I do that? What if it's this length? What if I don't have enough pieces? Da, 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 da. No. Turn the camera on and go. You all have the technology to do this. You can all do this today. You could do one today. You could sell that beautiful Buddha behind you and game on. Let's go. I'll tune in. You muted yourself, Gail. You'll have to unmute. You have to unmute again. Yeah, something happened, Gail. I still can't hear you. Try one more time to hit the mic icon, bottom left-hand corner. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you when you're showing up a piece and talking about this is available, do you say the price of the thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. There's, this is another one of the lies out there, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. And by the way, it's all conjecture from everyone on this because you can easily argue either side of the equation. Do you quote price? Do you not quote price? I believe that you quote price. And I believe that your buyers want you to quote price. And I believe that your buyers don't want you to be vague and opaque. The not quoting price has come from a world where the top gallery owners don't want anyone to know what things are selling for. They don't want anyone to know who their clients are. They want to keep the thing as opaque as possible. They want to keep the artists in the dark. They want to keep the collectors in the dark. And they want to run little shadow games. Nobody likes that. Everybody wants to see price. By the way, do I realize how hypocritical I am? Do you see art storefronts prices on the site? Yes, I do, okay? But at least I could admit it, we're hypocrites. But no, I do think you should quote the price. And again, I'm going to send you, after this thing is over, I don't know why I was on my calendar there, that's stupid, all the links, right? And all you're going to do is click on the links. And what I would do is I would click on Matthew's Basement Sale.
What
and I would
does it
listen
mean to be a
Come on with the ads. I've got to get this account activated. But anyway, I'm gonna send you a whole bunch of these, okay? And you can hear how they do it, right? How they go about it and what they say during theirs.
Jesse and Lawrence is ready. We've got some.
And I would just pop into 2 or 3 of those and see what they say, and then do you, and don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Just do it.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure, Gail. And then send me an email after you do it. I want to see it. Deal? All right. Okay, Anita's up next, and then I'll grab Cameron, and then I'll grab River. Go on, Anita. That has all the samples. Let me see them, Anita. Do you have them close, or do you have to go get them somewhere?
No, I have them on the other side, so I don't have them here.
Yeah, but I love you have them.
I have, my husband said, he's making the art, and he said we need to have samples, so we got it right away. So
I love your husband. Awesome.
That's good for him.
Yeah.
I'm from Denmark, so my English is not as good as yours. Please be patient.
Yes.
We've been doing this for a little while, but we're doing it beside our other business. I was wondering, I actually have 2 questions, and one is I'm reading to make sure I can say it right. We would like to get more people to sign up for our newsletter.
Yes.
Like you said, it's an important thing. We have the newsletter on our website, and it has virtually no visitors.
Yes.
We have all our attention on Instagram.
Yep.
And I don't know how to get them from Instagram to sign up on the newsletter.
Okay.
That's question 1. And the other question is, we'd like to sell large sizes because my husband is making them, and he says his vision is to sell the large sizes. We also have smaller ones.
Yes.
But I don't know how I can make a good hook for the newsletter sign up, because if you're buying big sizes, you don't want a 10% discount.
Yes.
You want something else. So that's kind of the 2 questions I have.
Yep. Today's problem.
And by the way, I think it's fantastic that you do this. Thank you so much. I wasn't able to attend some of the other days, but thank you for doing it. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. So, hey guys, it's me, Anita. You could do this via video. You could do it via post on Instagram. You could do it via an Instagram live. I'm obviously partial to the Instagram lives. Hey, it's me, Anita, and I want to let you know I'm doing a print giveaway. For the next week, I'm giving away a 12 by 6, whatever this thing is, 12 by 16 print of such and such, one of my favorite works, a $295 value. All you have to do to enter is put your email in the box. Haven't tried that one yet. Once you do, you realize that people will start signing up like crazy. Then, when it comes time to announce the winner and say, congratulations, such and such. You've won the print. Send me your address. For everyone else, because you didn't win, I want to let you know that everything in my store is 10% off for the next 48 hours. Use coupon code such and such. Rinse and repeat. Try that. Okay. But we have like 55 different things like that where, you know, gathering leads is fundamental to the business, and you need to be doing it all year long consistently, right? You need to take advantage of in-person events. You need to take advantage of everything you can do digitally. We've got a bunch of tricks in between, but that's what we teach all year long. I mean, we're about to have a huge, a huge workshop just on lead generation because it's that important. So your head's in the right place, and don't worry about the sizes. You know, it's your job to have a bunch of different sizes, and it's your customer's job to pick the sizes that works for their wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense? Your husband's back there, but like, I want to do the big sizes. Yeah, but not everyone has big walls. Some people want art for the bathroom, okay? And no one has a bathroom that has huge walls, right? So don't outsmart your customers. Like, your job is to sell to the best of your ability and offer a bunch of different choices, and don't try to be smarter than your customers. Let your customers tell you what they want, right? That's the ball game.
Okay, thank you.
Did you watch the Euros and the whole Christian Eriksen thing? Do you follow the Danish soccer team or no?
Yeah, we do. Yes, of course.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yes, it was. It's fantastic that they saved him.
Yeah, it certainly was. See, I know things about Denmark. Okay, I love the Danes. All right, thank you for the question, Nita. Who is it going to grab next? Oh yeah. Cameron. I'm going to grab Cameron, and then I'm going to get you, River. Don't worry, Cameron. All right, Cameron, I got you. You'll just need to hit the unmute.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, dude?
Doing pretty good. All right, so starting just last year, I just got into this whole selling my art thing.
Okay.
Tried going to a couple of markets in my city and stuff like that.
Love that you did that. And how did that go? So you got booths and you set up your stuff and you sat in the booth and gave it a shot?
I did give it a shot.
Good on you.
I only sold 2 pieces at each place, but I did make a sale. So I was pretty happy to see that something actually moved that I made.
Yeah, 100%.
But my biggest question is, when I'm going to these events, or when I'm starting to, get to the point where I can go and set up at galleries and stuff like that, is it better to have the original pieces, or is it better to make canvases or print offs of each piece? That way you have a multitude of them to be able to sell more.
So great question. And it's like sort of a check down list. The number one thing to do is continue doing those events. Okay. Because they're extremely, extremely effective. Number one. Number two, you're going to go with what you have, right? And it's going to be within the confines of your budget. So if you've got all originals, there's nothing better than the originals. Maybe do that. But you know what? You need to order that stack of prints that I went through at the very minimum so you can show, right? Because everyone assumes, that a normal consumer knows the difference between a fine art paper and a canvas and a metal and an acrylic and a wood. Most artists don't even know the difference, okay? So how the hell are you going to sell it, right? Like, you need to be the subject matter expert, and that doesn't mean you need to have prints of all of them, although I would. You can just have that tiny little stack, right? So that's number 1 and 2, and this is part of the playbook that I'm going to send everybody for live events. Number 2, kind of like I just told Anita there, you need to have, it's either an iPad or a clipboard or a fishbowl and some balloons on a string, if they'll let you get away with it, and a print that you're going to give away. And you have a little sign that says, enter to win a free print, right? And the idea is that everybody walks by, wants to win that free thing, so they'll put their business card in there, or they'll fill out their email address on the clipboard, right? And you now have some people to market to in the future. I am also a big believer in QR codes, okay? And our software does this natively. But this works better in certain situations than others. But QR codes, and I love making this little rant, like, I'm a technology nerd. And like 14 years ago, when you could start using QR codes, it was like, oh my gosh, go to South Korea. You know, every advertisement and everything's got QR codes all over it. And the people are scanning them all the time. And it's like, okay, great. 14 years later, it took COVID to finally push QR codes into the mainstream in this country, right? Now, we all go and sit down at a restaurant and we're looking around. Where's the damn menu? Can I get a menu? And then the gal's like, it's on the table, right? Or it's right there. And we all know now we can hold our phone up and scan those things. So when you have the QR code on various different pieces, sometimes you're in a conversation with one person and somebody's walking by and they don't want to talk to you, but they're like, ooh, that's interesting. So they scan the QR code. So I believe in doing QR codes. I also believe, shocker, this one, you need to run a live art show in the booth. What's up, guys? It's me, Cameron. I'm down here at the such and such farmers market on 16th Street. It's a beautiful day. I want you to come down here and see my art. But for everyone that can't, I figured I'd show you what's going on in the booth. This can just be you doing this, right? And go through the booth, show everything, be like, I just want to let you know, for anyone that can't make it, I'm offering a sale. It's such and such. Boom. So now, instead of just going to the booth and sitting there and twiddling your thumbs and waiting for people to talk to you, you're sitting in the booth, twiddling your thumbs, waiting for people to talk to you and selling. You are getting people to opt into your email list by dropping a card. You are setting yourself up for success in the sense that if you're in a conversation, people can scan the QR code, and there's some tricks around that. And by the way, you can generate those for free and you can direct it wherever. And then also, you're running a live art show. Well, all of a sudden, your opportunities to win, it's called optionality. You've given yourself multiple opportunities to win at that show, where in many cases you won't. And what you find, there's a whole circuit that goes on here, Cameron. There's people that like literally travel the country and just do this as a living, one show after another. Obviously, COVID is put a wrench in the spanner there to a certain extent. But what you find is two things. One, I 100% believe that doing shows and fairs in person is part of what I call a balanced diet of building an art business, because they're a fantastic way to get feedback. They're a fantastic way to have conversations. They're a fantastic way to capture leads. The problem with them is not every single solitary one is going to be an ROI positive event. And so I say that for a couple of different reasons, and this is really important. One, most people have in their mind that everyone needs to be ROI positive. And so they're only going to fire one arrow, and you're hoping to hit a bullseye, right? Well, anyone that's been in business for any period of time knows, actually, that's really crappy way to win. You got to fire 10 arrows, right? And a bunch of them are going to miss the target, and maybe one or two are a bullseye, and the one or two that are a bullseye pays for the entire thing and then some, right? So you have to have it in your mind to do a couple. That's really critically important. And then what no one understands, what most people don't understand, is you do the show, okay? You capture leads at the show. You are marketing consistently all year long. This is what we teach, and this is the most important thing. This is what no one does. As a result of you marketing consistently all year long, you are constantly in contact. You're constantly top of mind with this person that came by the farmer's market or wherever you were, and they just weren't ready to buy art. They were living in their mom's basement at that point in time. 3 years down the line, because you're marketing consistently, this person just got promoted. They just bought a 4,000 square foot house. And because you have been marketing to them consistently, they call you up and they're like, Cameron, I have 6 wall spaces, and I need some big pieces. And you're like, awesome, I've got some originals. And you make like a $45,000 sale. And the reason that you made the $45,000 sale is because 1, you captured emails at that show. 2, you marketed consistently for all of those years. And so a smart artist, of which there are very few, not because you guys aren't smart, just because no one's ever taught you marketing. The smart artist knows that they can do 5 shows a year. Not only can they do 5 shows a year, they can afford to lose money on 3 of them, because as long as they've done what I'm talking about and capture leads at each one and market consistently, some of those sales that are going to pop down the line are going to pay for it, and then some. And then the really smart ones know they're going to be doing this for the rest of their careers, the rest of their lives. And so every year you're just dropping more and more and more and more of these leads into the bucket, and you're continuing to market consistently. And you don't ever know when these people are going to pop up and need art. There's no magical formula, right? They move, they get a divorce, they buy a vacation home. Like, you never know when the people that are on your list are going to have their hand up and say, I'm ready to buy art. We all think in our head, everyone's got their hand up all the time, ready to buy your art. Such nonsense. No. Okay. It's not really an impulse purchase most of the time. So when you're marketing consistently and year after year, you're throwing these things into the hopper, all of a sudden someone's ready. And because you've been marketing consistently, you're top of mind and boom, you get the sale. And sometimes they're huge. So that's my long-winded rant. But I'm going to send you some follow-up stuff on this. In fact, I need to record a new episode on this because I haven't added in the QR codes in the live stuff, and then also some price point stuff. But anyway, but did you even want all that? I mean, you just
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
I went long there. So you're still in the baby bird phase. Okay, what I like where you're at, Cameron, is you sold art to people not named mom, dad, brother, sister, family, friends. Okay, because
this is correct.
Those people will buy art no matter what. They love you. They'll lay down in oncoming traffic for you. Okay, that is not validation that you have a product the market wants. The fact that you went to those shows and you sold to strangers tells me you do have a product the market wants. And so now you go from, will my art sell? You've ticked that box. Yes, it will. Now you have a marketing problem along with everyone else on this call. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now you have to start marketing consistently. How old are you though? You sound really young.
30.
So good. So good. If you start hitting this hard, and I assume you have a full-time day job that's paying the bills, and this is the side hustle.
Yes, I do.
Beautiful, man.
Yes, I do.
I love it. I love it. I don't know if you're ready to sign up or not sign up, or you can afford it or not can afford it, but I want you to listen to my podcast. It'll help you out considerably. Did you even know I have a podcast?
Yes, I do actually.
Have you been listening to it?
Actually, I started listening to it today.
Cameron, I appreciate your honesty and your integrity. Start at episode 1 and go all the way through. Just do it.
Okay.
Do it when you're doing whatever, right? It'll trust me. It'll help you. There's a ton of gold in there.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, next up is River. Go ahead, River.
All right. Well, I'm kind of before Cameron. So yeah, I've sold mom, dad, and the friends, and they keep buying.
Yep.
And some of them are more like acquaintances. So I don't know if that's on the edge.
Those count. Acquaintances count. Acquaintances count.
Well, I'm all happy. So I've raised my prices, like you said.
Good.
And that went over. So I'm like, okay, that works. So the next question is like you said, market every day. So I'm trying to get pictures of everything. Now I'm a textile artist, so I'm wondering how that's going to translate into the merch stuff. And I'm also so what's my next step? In other words, how do you get email lists? I mean, do I need to do the shows? And I know those are expensive. Tables. I had a business where I did a different kind of business, but I still had sold tables, and tables are expensive to make your table, and the ROI thing makes perfect sense to me.
Yep.
And I'm doing all this on a shoestring.
Oh yeah, totally get it. There was a lot of questions in there. So capturing emails, yes. If you want the business to continue to grow year over year, you need people that you can run sales to and communicate with and stay up to date with. So yes, you need to be gathering emails like everyone else. Those are just the rules. Doing shows, everyone's in a different bracket or risk situation or whatever in terms of shows. So am I saying that you absolutely have to do shows? No, some people are geographically in a position where it doesn't make sense, but I do think it's part of it. Like I said, a healthy balanced diet. Even you could just do 4 a year, right? 4 years.
Yeah, the only problem with it is COVID. So I don't want to be in a lot of people's faces. Obviously, I have gray hair, so I am an older person. I don't want to be.
COVID's going away. I mean, that last wave was one thing. Now, and maybe I live in Southern California, and that's like a different bracket than everyone else, but. Now I know more people that have had it than not. And that was not the case even a month and a half ago. Now I know more people that have had it that have not. And I think it's gonna rattle itself out. So I'm extremely optimistic for the first time that this thing is going away and we're gonna get back to normal and you'll be okay. But anyway, so table that. In terms of textiles, you have to get a little bit more creative on how you're gonna be able to get textiles onto merch items and such. It's a little bit less straightforward, but that's just sort of the nature of that part of the business, right? Like that's your individual cross to bear with that business, but it's got a ton of advantages too.
So, but I don't feel like you've answered, how do I get an email list? I mean, like, if
Yeah,
I'm
same
not
things. Exact same thing I said to Anita. You have to do giveaways, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, Anita, jeg taler ikke dansk.
What are the odds of that? 2 Danish speakers. Amazing.
Well, I lived there when I was a teenager for a little while. So anyway.
What are the odds? That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love seeing that. I love seeing that.
So, so giveaways, and so do lives and giveaways.
Yeah, giveaways, lives. You need to be capturing them on your website, right? Like, you know, the in-person events are extremely effective at that. You know, if your art is hanging in a restaurant or a doctor's office or somewhere else, you use the QR codes. Like, you know, email capture is not solved any one which way. It's a whole bunch of various different activities that get you there, right?
Okay. All right. That's a great idea about the doctor's office. I just had cataract surgery, so my eye doctor may owe me.
Yeah. There we go.
Anyway, I think that does it for today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Trevor. All right, Gail's got another one. Go ahead, Gail. You have to unmute again, Gail. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay. 2 questions. I must have been asleep when you mentioned ROI. What does ROI stand for?
Return on investment.
Oh.
And investment in this case can be thought of as, you know, monetary, financial, or you know, time, energy, effort, treasure, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And the other question is, how do you connect with whatever the program is, or whatever you do when you're doing you know, the live selling clips, and you have you know, the information running on the bottom of the screen?
Oh yeah. There, you know, after you get better and better and better at them, you level up, and you know, there's software that does that, but you don't need to worry about that early on. Just do a couple, and after you do a couple, come back and see us and ask me again. But do not stress about that right now. In fact, and I might as well show this again, because I am gonna send this to all of you guys, because that is the kind of person that I am. So on here is how to run live art shows, a quick start guide. And again,
great.
Yeah, it's literally start to finish, the how, the why, real results, real artists. 2 shows, 61 pieces, 30,000 Canadian. His results are great. 1 show, 12,000. 1 show, this was his first show, $2,200, which is still, you know, a very good result. And you know, he'll tell you what his experience are. And then at the very bottom of this thing, there's a way to opt in. I already have your email address, so it's kind of stupid to ask for it again, but this is just how this thing's set up. So just go, send me the guide, please, fill this thing out, and it'll take you to the guide page. And the guide page is extremely comprehensive and walks you through the whole thing. Oh yeah, is this still live? Our live art show pages? I gave a tour of it. Anyway, yeah, so that'll be in the email that I send you, and just follow that. Don't worry about anything else.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Gil. That's what I'm here for. What else? Yeah, I would say, okay, I'll answer Sed's questions, and then I'll get into rants. Sed, go ahead.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Quick question: how important it is to have a niche, being that I do everything?
Not at all. Especially early on. Don't let that. You know, this is another one of those things that infuriates me. Is it seems like everyone that, like, an aspiring artist that has a bunch of niches talks to, the number one piece of advice that they'll get is you'll never make it until you get a niche, right? And there's a kernel of truth to it, but there's also, you know, lots of situations where it's not the truth. But the danger in the whole statement is you'll never know what your doggone niche is until you start doing some consistent marketing. You'll never know, right? You have these preconceived notions on what your niche could be or should be or anything of the like, right? And that's all well and good. But until you take the product to market and try to start selling it, you know, you'll never know which one of those niches sells the best. And you might find one of two things. You might find that good old Pareto's law, which is the 80-20 rule. You might find that you have whatever different styles and you have 10 different pieces. And you find that 20% of the stuff on your site is accounting for 80% of your revenue, right? So at that point in time, you know, it might be time to go all in on whatever that style is. That's your niche. But you might find the exact opposite. You might find a little bit of everything sells. And the reason a little bit of everything sells is because you're just as an important part of the brand as whatever the stuff that you're creating is, right? So don't get wrapped up on it early on. Have as many different experiences where you try to sell all of it and see what sells the best before you make any decisions. You don't need one right out of the gates. Did I lose you, said? I think you had kids in the background.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Fundamentally, guys, this business at a macro, what I titled this thing is about normal marketing, sale, normal marketing, sale, normal marketing, sale, and then rinse and repeat. And it goes that way year in, year out. You know, the topic of sales can be a hot button one for some people, but we are human beings. All a sale is incentive and scarcity, some sort of a discount, and the fact that it's ending soon. And those two things are important parts of human psychology that get people moving. It's not any more complicated than that. And so we have all of these various different holidays, and obviously Q4 is hugely important. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of Christmas season, all of those are hugely important. But Valentine's Day is a hugely important one as well, right? A ton of art are sold on that day. One of the biggest art selling times of the year. So there is still time to get signed up, to get going, to get a Valentine's Day sale in the water. So I encourage you, if you know you've been following us for a while, or like and trust us, you think, hey, these guys seem to know what they're talking about. Highly encourage you to get a demo. The demo is basically the hour test drive of all the bells and whistles of the software. It's a one-on-one with you and somebody from our outreach team. They go through everything that we do on the back end, all the pricing, all the everything. So totally recommend you do that. There's buttons all over the website to do it. There's buttons here in the chat. I'll do a couple more of the questions, clean up. Is marketing the same regardless of country? Yeah, it is. It is. Noreen, we actually have all, let me see if you're on here, Noreen. All right. Noreen, are you there? Can you unmute?
Yes.
Where in Ireland are you, just out of curiosity?
Donegal.
Donegal, nice. So we have an Irish artist named Aideen Glynn, and I think she's in County Cork somewhere. I can connect you with her, and you should ask her what the experience is like and what it all looks like, because Ireland does have some, unique nuances to it and some of the currency and everything else. But she's doing great, and you would just love her. Period. She's just amazing. So I'm gonna. Will you send me an email? Oh, April, will you just do it? Will you get her email, Noreen's email address, and we'll send Noreen Aideen's contact info.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be helpful. And as you can tell from my last name, Patrick Shanahan. Okay, I'm part of the tribe here.
Yay.
Yeah. I think
you're doing an excellent job.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know where the heck. I think Limerick or something like that is where my ancestors are from, something along those lines, which I hear is a rough part of town. So there's that.
And you got the gift of the gab.
The gift of gab, that I did get. I've been hearing that my whole life. Yeah, except for my wife, who just tells me to shut up. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'll have Aideen reach out, and I would just ask Aideen what her experiences are, how it's all gone. I know she's had some like shopping cart VAT compatibility issues, but everything else is going great for her. And to be honest with you, you should just follow her, period, because she kicks butt at marketing. Really, really good at marketing. In fact, what you can do, April, is just get Aideen Glynn's site. Aideen's, the only person on this entire phone call that actually spell Aideen is Noreen here. That's a really, really hard one to spell, if you don't understand the Gaelic language. But anyway, we'll get her website in just a second, and I'll put it in the chat, and then you could just send her a message. We'll just put you on an email, whatever. I'll put you on an email. She's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Okay, so that answers her question. I'm just going through the chat. Is there anything else in the chat that I have to get to? Is marketing the same? Bear with me. Okay, Juan, it looks like you sorted James there. How to build a list? Yeah, I think I got it. LGMCC was asking, Facebook still relevant? Yeah, it is. For the foreseeable future until it changes, and up until it changes, we'll let you know. But yeah, it is. It's still really important. So all right, unless there's any final questions, guys, I think we'll leave it there. Running out of horsepower anyway. What do you talk about in the video besides presenting the artwork? I would just look at the examples. I would look at the examples, Adriana, and Adriana's asking, like, what do you say in the live art show? You know, aside from, oh, there's two of me. That's annoying. Instead of just the art, I would watch what the others did. It's super helpful to see that, right? Can I schedule a call with you at a later time? Yeah, Saskia, we can put you on a list and have somebody call you. That's easy enough. TA, you're just getting started. Yep, no followers, chicken and the egg situation. Followers, fans, subscribers, they're all built one follower, fan, subscriber at a time. You just start doing it. Your list is one. Your social media following is one. It is your mother on all of them. And you just keep going, right? You just keep going. That's how it goes. So that's what I would say. And Rye's asking me, yeah, the best advice for the Valentine's Day sale is have one. Announce that you're going to email your entire list this week and say, hey, guys, just want to let you know I'm going to have a huge sale for Valentine's Day. Look for your email. That's it, nothing else. Then, as you get closer to it, announce the sale, announce that you're doing a store-wide discount, and that's enough. That'll work, you know, and post about it on socials, email your entire list, and do a live art show if you can. That's what I would say. That's the best Valentine's Day sale advice. But it really is, you know, you wouldn't think it, but it's a huge art selling day. Like a ton of art is sold on Valentine's Day. It seems to be a very, very popular item. So that's what I would say. But all right, guys, I'm running out of horsepower. I think we leave it there. I appreciate all of you for hanging on and staying on this whole time. And we'll get the email out to you with the replay and all the links in like a couple hours. It takes YouTube a couple hours to deal with the video. Oh, the video broke too. So I guess I'm going to send you a replay of an old one because the stream broke. We'll figure it out. I'll send you something. But thank you, guys. Appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest.